don't want to be crass, but a couple of things have started happening. No, one of them's crass, I guess.
I don't want to be crass, but actually...
but I'm about to be.
I'd love to be crass for just a second. If we just have a little crass break... Go on, no, be crass. You're allowed to be... Listen, this is what this is about. It's very relaxed.
A couple of things have started happening to me. They've given me like a sense of...
Purpose?
Finally.
How do I get this?
I don't know if this will make sense to you. Oh my God, my farts have started smelling again. Right now, listen.
What? Again?
Yeah, and I feel like I've reached a stage where my farts weren't really smelling that badly.
Tom, I can tell you now, that's never been the case.
No, honestly,
I don't want to be crass, Tom, but
Tom,
shut the fuck up.
honestly, like, I got into my 40s and I was like, my farts aren't bad anymore.
What?
I know.
I think.
Do you think I've lost my sense of smell?
I think you've regained your sense of smell. Yeah. No, I think what's happened is you got so used to it. You know how, like, when you're in your own house,
yes,
you don't notice, and then you leave your house, you come back and go, oh yeah, we did have like salmon last night.
Lockdown.
Exactly. All the way through lockdown.
I've re-entered the real world. That's what I'm saying.
Tom had a very long lockdown, by the way. He only just came out early 2025.
Do you have anyone else who can corroborate this?
Yeah, like that. Well, no, I guess just me.
Tom, you would crack under questioning.
I'm telling you now, and I'm telling you the truth. The jeopardy has come back into farting for me.
I don't think you can tell us that it's true, Tom.
It had gone away. I could fart quite. If it wasn't loud, I'd be fine. Whereas now, it leaves its own mark.
Oh no!
No. Do you mind not sitting on my sofa anymore, please?
And I was like, oh. My farts are back, baby. And I felt
you seem quite happy about it.
I was in a way. I was like, oh, that's good. Kind of reminds you're still alive, I guess.
Fucking hell.
Is that the only thing that reminds you you're alive? Because I think you might be dead, because corpses fart as well.
For a good while.
Well, I don't know. What's a good while? I mean, yeah, the gas escapes.
Leave that lid open, will you?
I'd give it 15. I was going to say on your tombstone, I'd give it 15 minutes.
It'd be quite funny to have a fart pipe on your grave, and it's like a little tube, and you can have a smell. Oh no, it's not that.
Sometimes when I'm really missing Tom, I go down to his grave and I just smell the fart pipe for a little bit.
I
just huff the fart pipe,
and I go, well, this is one from 2023. It doesn't smell of anything.
I'm telling you, I've had a good run of it. And now it's back to the bad old days.
Do you think, have you changed your diet in any way?
This is my question.
I don't know what it could be. You haven't started, you're not back on the Huel again, are you? What is it that you've, I noticed you're eating a macaroni cheese bun in the back Huel.
You're not back on the Huel, are you?
Oh no.
We've had to have an intervention. I think Parry's back on the Huel. He comes to the door, there's just white powder all around his face. What is it?
It's Huel. It's Huel,
guys, it's Huel.
It's Huel.
I assure you this is Huel. That's what we're worried about.
I'm a drunk Huel.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. It's just like it's kind of given me a bit of a. You have to, you know, yeah, exactly.
Bit of zip.
It's put a
Bit of
pep
get
back in
up
my
and go.
step.
I imagine it's put a pep in a few other people's steps as well.
How do your family feel about this? Have you run it past them? Have you said this is good news?
No, well,
Good news. Guys, gather round. Have a good sniff on
Shut
this.
the door, draw the curtains, and close that vent.
you just suddenly go like, oh, I've got to be more careful again with my farts. And you're like, I didn't have to be for a good while.
I think you did.
You always have, you always have to be.
I've had a good 5 years of it.
This is the thing.
Oh yeah,
I don't have much of a sense of smell.
You don't, or
Most of the
humour.
time I don't have it at all.
Or of your own crushing board. But go on. You're gone.
But I think that makes me a
Good friend.
good friend to you. I think it makes me a bad friend to other people who, because I just kind of, my sense has gone with farting completely.
Because you don't smell your
Because
own
I don't
farts.
smell them. So I just kind of have this kind of thing of like, that probably doesn't smell.
Oh, really? I know I'd err on the side of caution if I were you.
I really should.
Yes, and I'm saying that. Someone's been sat next to you all morning.
Yeah. I mean, I forget that you have no sense of smell. That is mad.
Yeah.
Have you ever...
Had a sense of smell? Has this been from birth?
Have you not wanted to fix it?
I did tell the doctor, and they at the time they were like, "Have you got it now?" And I was like, "Yes." And they're like, "Come back when you don't." And I was like, "That doesn't."
Why did you go the day you had it?
But like,
It's getting an appointment, isn't it?
An appointment.
There's
So
no
tricky.
rhyme or reason to it. It's like either there or it isn't. But now it's mostly not there.
What, on average, how many things will you smell in a week?
And that's
do
a question
mean
for.
that.
And that's a question for everyone. And that's a question for contestant A.
The only thing that cuts through is you, Tom. That's why I like being in your company. It makes me feel alive.
But is it like...
How many things do you think you smell in a week,
Is
Tom?
it like being hard of hearing? That's my point. I feel like I've got a vivid sense of scent. So I feel quite good about that.
Says the man who can't. Says he doesn't. His farts don't
That's
smell.
why I'm a reliable narrator.
So you're saying that it's a bit like when you talk about one sense being weakened, the others are heightened.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Well, but that's my question for Clarky is...
He's got good ears.
Is it like you're hard of
Don't have good
hearing?
ears.
Yeah.
Is it like you're hard of hearing that you can smell strong smells, they get through?
No, don't.
Or is it like you're smell blind?
Yeah, smell blind.
Why isn't there a word for that? Because there's a word...
Tell you what I get.
There's
If I
death.
blow my nose, I'll get like a split second of smell.
So it's in there.
So if I've had like
sounds a lot of stuff that's in there. Did you play a lot of sort of marble run as a child?
I do sometimes think that they'll like if I go to the doctors, they'll be like, oh yeah, they'll just like pull out a drawing pin or something.
Captain
Be like,
Corelli's mandolin. The old P in the ear.
"I've not
Captain
read it."
Corelli's mandolin.
What
Is
happens?
that what happens in the story? I've never read.
There's
Captain
a man who's
Corelli's
been deaf for 30 years and he goes to the doctors and she, with a fisherman's hook,
She takes out
a
a
P.
Is it?
Takes out a P. He's had a P in his ear. It's a good book. You got to read it.
That's great.
That's not the whole book. That's just the start.
I don't want to
And
be.
then she was like, "Who's playing that mandolin? put the P back in."
No, that's his. I've also got no sense of smell. She pulls a mandolin out of his nose. It's like I'm surprised.
Oh, that's where I put it.
I'm surprised you came.
Guys, I'm back in the band. If you've not read Captain Corelli's mandolin,
I've not. Why are you saying it like that?
what would you say? What would the story be for you? It's a very
I
famous
think
book.
there's like a war element and a guy who plays the mandolin.
Nuts.
So I thought it's
You
like a
thought that's
guy
not for me.
who's like on an island,
Yeah.
just like
Mincing around. Mincing around on an
mandolining around.
Oh, it's just some guy mincing around on an island with a mandarin. Well,
It's a tropical island.
Where did he pull that?
you're listening to Pappy's book review. We review books we haven't read.
Yeah. And books that were really, really hugely successful about 25 years ago now. It was massive when it came out.
But anyway,
Yes.
do you like if that's the case, then that means it's working, right? But something's in its way.
Yeah, I think there's some kind of
You've got to get this sorted, man.
It feels like, this more so
It
than
feels like an
Parry,
intervention.
Yeah, more so than Parry getting his arsehole sorted. We need to. Which is,
It's back, baby. Don't you hear that?
Ever.
That's why I want to keep it plugged.
It's uncorked. Oh, that's my second point. I've started shitting again, guys. And it feels so good. I'd forgotten how good it is to do a shit.
Yeah.
5 long years.
I know. I was going to say you look slimmer.
What a drought.
It was locked down in more senses than one.
Turns out it was a P. It was a P.
Should never eat that pea.
The old fisherman's, I'll never touch vegetables
Just
again.
pure Huel. He's back on it.
Back on the Huel now.
Liquid in, liquid
Old
out.
reliable Huel. No need to. We're sponsored by Huel, by the way. Hashtag ad.
Tom, I've got to ask you though. Now that your sense of farting has come back, do you think other parts that you've lost are going to grow back? Are you assuming you're going to get a full head of hair?
Imagine if with every fart. I'd really enjoy that as official.
The idea that
By the end of this podcast, you'd be like Rapunzel.
Every fart, his hair a man who with every fart, his hair grows back. He regains his looks, but loses his friends. It's kind of like a trade-off.
And that's what Captain Corelli's is about, isn't it? I might give that a read, actually. That sounds way better than what I was imagining.
just a man farting around on a tropical island with a mandarin.
You open a door and I've got a full head of it. I wouldn't come in if I were you. Oh no. Enjoy my luscious locks from afar. There's got to be like some kind of parable in that. Like it feels like one of the old kind of Aesop fables or something.
Which
How the man got his hair.
Yeah, like there's a crow. It'd be a crow that farts.
How the crow farted so much he gave himself a flat top. Now, you were very harsh on Clarky, but I've got to ask you the same question. Have you read Aesop's Fables? What do you think they're about?
Fair play to Aesop. He did well with those fables, didn't he?
He did do very,
They
very
stuck
well.
around for a good long while.
Yeah, if you think of a fable, you're thinking of Aesop. Isn't it?
Anyone else who was having their fables battered around.
What are the highlights here?
Well, that's what he says.
to the crow.
He farts his highlights.
He's got curtains. He's got frosted tips. It just depends on the strength of the fart.
Yeah.
He'd be like, right, I really want to get highlights. I've got to eat a lentil dal.
What you eat is what your hair colour is. Is that what we're
I
saying?
think that's kind of it. Yeah.
Okay, I don't mind it. What happens with
No, let's not. In fact, should we not talk about any of this?
Oh, come on. The big fables. Is that what you're going to ask? What are the big fables? There's the crow who farts his feathers away.
Yeah.
There's the pig who pisses himself a jumper.
Hence the expression, piss me that jumper.
Piss me that
jumper, it's
please.
freezing.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be warm at first.
I like the of course, the frog who burps himself goggles.
Yeah,
that's very sweet,
very
isn't it?
heartwarming.
Very,
It's
very,
very
heartwarming,
sweet. Exactly. But it's a cautionary tale. Yes.
Good point.
It is a cautionary
It's a
tale.
cautionary tale. It's a cautionary tale.
Go on. What I was quite confident on Aesop's fables, and now I'm I'm getting to it.
I think there was
the crow and the jug and
that's
the
the only one I can
stone.
think of.
I don't know this one.
So the crow and the jug
And the stone.
is
It's a great book. The
Yeah.
lion dies halfway through.
Yeah, no spoilers. So the idea was that the crow was the crow had a short beak, so couldn't reach the bottom of the jug,
Right.
And so was putting pebbles into the jug, so the water level rose and was able to drink from it.
I see.
Is that the entirety of the fable? Because that sounds like a science.
It's a physics lesson.
I don't think that's something you would do in primary school.
Yeah.
And you don't need to involve a
And
crow
then there's
in
the
it.
one where the bat drops some phosphorus onto the top of the water and it floats. I was struggling for physics experiments there.
And there's the
You must
beaver
have
and the
done
Bunsen burner.
yeah. There's the beaver and the magnesium and the beaver and the Bunsen burner. It's great fable.
Yeah, I can't think of any of them. I mean, the fox, the
I've
tortoise
got
and the
one.
hare. Is that Aesop?
Let's give it to Aesop.
Let's give it to Aesop.
Let's give it to Aesop.
Let's give it to
Okay,
Aesop.
right.
Yeah.
What about the bear and the two men?
The bear and
The bear.
the bear and the two
bear
men.
losing faith here. And the two men. I think the bear and the two men's one as well.
Go on, tell us it.
Two men are walking on a... Oh, and the man in the coat in the wind.
Right, it's just
I'll tell you what, Aesop loves
that's
three.
your one, isn't
Three.
it? The man who can now smell his own wind. I should have just taken my coat off. Turned out it was muffling the smell.
No, man. Keep that in my coat.
Blow it out.
Can I take your coat? I wouldn't if I were you, mate.
I didn't know you were wearing a puffer jacket. It's not.
Parry's absolutely roped.
The life jacket.
Parry looks like the bloody Michelin man over there.
Just steam coming out of the collar. That's not steam, mate.
Parry puts his head up, he asphyxiates himself. No, you were going to tell us you had a couple of fables you wanted to tell us. Parry's fables. So you had the two men and the bear. The two men and the bear.
Right. Two men and the bear. There's a man.
No, you can't just end it there. What's the fable?
There's two men walking.
Yeah.
Yes.
And a bear comes along.
I mean, there's only one set of footprints. It's 'cause the bear's eating the man.
And the one bear
And it was Jesus.
plays dead.
The bear plays dead.
No, sorry. hang on. Let's get this right. There's two men walking.
I'll say,
Please get this right.
he's a nice guy, but he's no Aesop.
Please get this right.
This is like Aesop's first gig. Hear me out, guys. Hear me out.
There's a bear. There's a
don't
bear.
leave, don't leave.
And there's two men. There's three men. And the wind. Have I said the wind? Have I said there's wind? Oh God, the crow. There's a bear and two friends walking, and
A bear and two friends.
Sorry.
This couldn't
I've said
sound
that
more
wrong.
flimsy.
I've said that
There's
wrong.
a bear and two friends.
No. Sorry. There are two friends walking.
Yes.
Right.
A bear appears.
Yeah.
Right.
One friend runs and jumps up a tree on his own, up to a high branch.
Okay.
And
That's impressive.
And
if you did that, I'd be so impressed.
And the other
if you ran
friend-
and
yeah.
jumped up a tree.
I wouldn't have to play dead.
And the friend is
shock.
like, help me. And the guy's too scared to help him.
Yeah.
So he lies down and pretends to be dead.
Yeah.
The bear comes over, looks like he's going to eat the guy,
Yeah.
whispers something in his ear, walks off. The friend comes down from the tree and says, oh my God, that was incredible. What did the bear say? What did the bear say to you?
This can't be right. This can't
I
be
swear
Aesop.
down. And then the guy says, the bear said, get a better friend.
Get a better friend. The bear said, don't worry, I've got an axe in the car.
That's it.
This is not true.
That's it.
I mean, I know it's not true,
I mean,
but I don't
it.
think that's one of Aesop's fables.
I'm putting it up there.
Okay,
I'm
go on.
putting that on the board.
So you've got that's the bear and two
Yeah.
friends.
If this is pointless, it's
Yeah.
like
Talk
name
us through the-
Aesop's fable.
Talk us through the boards.
I'm
yeah.
going with the bear and two friends.
You actually whispered the same thing to Xander Armstrong, didn't you? Really unfair. Really unfair. Richard's a good man. Get a series of friends to come and do it for a week.
And then the second one is, and this one I'm confident in now, actually, the more I think
great.
about it. There's a man in a coat.
Are you as confident as the last one that definitely wasn't an Aesop's fable?
The more I think about it, the more I know my Aesop's fables.
Yeah, go on.
There's a bear. No,
Is the coat bearskin? Are you thinking of The Revenant?
Bear and the man are now friends.
there's a man.
They ditched the third guy.
There's a man in a coat, and he's being watched by the sun and the wind.
Oh, okay, yes.
You don't mind it?
Yes, I know this one. Yeah,
And the
yeah,
sun and the wind says to the sun, "I bet you I can get that guy to take his coat off."
Yes.
And the sun says, "Go on then." And the wind blows and blows, and he's trying to blow the coat off.
Yeah.
And the more he blows, the more the man puts his coat round. And then the sun says, "Watch this." And he goes down to the man and he whispers in his ear, "Get a better friend.
That coat is so well seasoned.
Get a better coat, mate." The sun shines and says, the sun says, "Watch this." The sun shines. It's really hot. He takes his
If I was the wind, I wouldn't take that bet because the entirety of time you see people in your season, which is like autumn, right?
Yeah.
Putting on coats. In the summertime, there are no coats.
This is mad, actually, isn't it? Maybe
why
it's
is the wind gone? Yeah, all right, I'll take the bet. Yeah.
maybe it's a young wind. It's like naive and go getting you. You know,
Sure. A hungry wind.
the hungry wind.
This is the title of the episode. This hungry wind subtitle. I can smell what you've just eaten.
Is it this then? Is it the wind and the sun are having an argument about which is
more
stronger?
powerful?
This sounds what, because I was
And
like,
then
what's
they look down and they go, "Well, here you go." And I think the sun goes,
I'm going to give that man cancer.
"Come back in 60 years and we'll see who wins." That's it, isn't it? Is it the sun's eye? Is the sun a bit of a trickster in this case?
It sounds like it. Yeah.
Yeah,
anyway.
but is there like, Is there a moral that
Yes.
we're supposed to be getting from this? And what is that moral?
Don't
Don't
use
wear a coat
force
on a hot day.
Don't use force. Manipulate people with kindness.
Is it
Right.
kind?
It's like it's kind of, you can get, I think it's something along the lines of getting your own, get people to do what you want them to do. That's why I suddenly think it's quite manipulative.
By being sunny, a sunny
Yes.
disposition
Yes.
is more likely to get someone to take their coat off. Whereas if you leap on,
Aesop, you had.
Blow on people.
if you leap on top of somebody and they try and pull your coat off, don't climb a tree, play dead.
Yeah. Isn't it to do with like persuasion?
Persuasion
or
rather than force.
Yeah, rather than force.
yes,
I think
that's
is the
good.
point.
And it's basically the sun keeps doing what it was doing anyway, whereas
Yeah.
the wind really gets sort of
And I
aggressive.
swear there's a few more with birds in them.
And then
More with
what's
animals,
the moral
yeah.
of the bloody bear one, though?
Get a better friend. They literally
what?
tell you,
But
don't abandon your buddies.
Don't abandon your buddy.
but how would that have helped in that situation?
If you listen, what he should have done is he should have pointed to his friend and went, "He's dead." If you need me, I'll be up this
Get
tree.
a better friend, or like pull him up. I don't know. There's something in it. You also get that thing of play dead around bears,
Yeah.
and that never feels like. Surely that's not the best way.
I heard it's different for different bears.
Yeah, you've got to know.
What would my-
like what kind of bear?
The
like
scene
personalities?
I'm imagining now as well is the bear comes along and I lie down and I'm playing dead and the bear comes out and he's like, "This guy's fucking dead. Oh well." And just as he turns to leave, like in The Great Escape when they're about to get on the train.
Oh, yeah,
Have
yeah.
a good holiday. And he goes, "Thank you." I haven't seen it for a
Yeah.
while.
So just as the bear's about to leave, he goes, "What's that smell?"
Yeah, exactly. No, that's it. The bear turns around and you just hear a. It's like, hello.
Smells dead.
But then another bear comes out and goes, "Don't worry, corpses fart." And he goes, "Oh, phew." And that's the moral of the story.
Oh, for you, it's the moral. Yeah. It's a good moral.
Tom's new book of a few good fables, and it's every fable ends with the characters. No one is affected by anything, and everyone gets away unscathed.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
phew.
phew!
Oh, yes.
Oh, phew!
That works out for the best.
What did he say? He said, "Get a better friend." Oh, phew. Everyone looks to camera.
I love the way as well, Tom.
Look to read.
Tom, there are 3 cameras here. Your look to camera was this. Looks at wall. You could have done. Look, you could have done any one of those cameras to do a look to camera, and you did the wall. How am I going to mime look to camera in a room literally full of cameras?
What's the moral of this?
Get a better friend.
Well, yeah.
Should we try though? I feel
Yeah.
like there needs to be a modern fable. Like we need to come up with new fables for the TikTok
So
generation.
Is the Hare and the Tortoise a fable?
I think the Hare and the Tortoise is definitely a fable, isn't it?
Is it? But we don't know whether it's one of Aesop's.
It's slow and steady wins the race. And of course, the tortoises say, "Phew, at the end. Phew, I've won that race." But yeah, slow and steady wins the race is the moral, and the fable. I don't know if it's Aesop, but it's definitely a fable.
Okay, and okay. Is there one in looking before you like? I'm kind of working backwards now.
You're starting with the idiom, and then you're working backwards.
Look before you leap.
Yeah, and it's like, what's the fable behind that?
Okay, so look out of the tree, and if there's a bear on the ground
There's
chatting to someone,
you've
don't
got to
leap
have-
on its back.
This is Aesop's method, isn't it? Is think of the idiom, sit there, wait for inspiration to strike, and stick a couple of animals in it.
Yeah, but your examples of the idiom have been few and get a better friend. There is no idiom there.
We've come up with so many examples of better friend.
I back myself on a couple of those.
Yeah, go on.
I know, yeah. Go on. What other ones are you thinking of? What ones are you thinking of?
Isn't there one about is the dog in the manger? Is that one?
What's the dog in the manger?
There's an animal party.
There's an animal party. This is a bad start. There's an animal party.
There's an animal.
Isn't Teddy Bear's Picnic one of his?
No, there's a.
There's an animal you know when you're throwing a party and you're like, right, I hope someone's brought a manger because mine's out of action. There's an animal party with a manger.
There's a dog in a manger.
Yeah.
I fancy my chances on that one as
Yeah.
well.
So the idea is that all the animals are eating out of the manger because that's what they're That's what they do.
That's what they do.
And then the dog gets in.
The dog gets in to have a sleep or something.
In the manger.
And everybody thinks the dog is the infant Christ. Yeah.
Shepherds turn up and it's a shepherd dog. And they say, get a better dog. The dog's there is and the dog's in the manger and a silver spoon.
No, that's Cats in the Cradle.
Cats in the Cradle.
And also, by the way, that is not by Aesop, that song.
No, it's Ugly Kid Joe, isn't it?
Well, that was certainly the cover version. I was racking my brains. Is it Harry Chapin or is that Father and Son? But anyway, it's neither here nor there. It's not Aesop. We can agree on that.
Yeah.
So what happens to this dog in the manger? Everyone eats it.
No.
It plays dead.
No, I think
someone says get a better manger. Come on,
we're gonna need a bigger manger.
It's got to be one of the three.
We're gonna, yeah, of course.
Anyway, long story short, I think the animals are I feel like the animals are having a party, and then a dog gets in a manger, and it really pisses everyone off. And then there might be the barn might go on fire or something like that. I don't know.
What?
That's huge.
Feels like it might be.
So it goes backdraft.
Don't sleep where you eat.
That feels a bit like a Dick King Smith type novel. What did he write? The Sheepdog.
The Sheep Pig, yeah. No, the sheepdog is just a normal thing.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. That's what you think of One Man and His Dog. Yeah, he wrote the Sheep Pig, which became Babe.
Literally, it's confusing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you say literally is confusing? Why did you lose your job at the London Review of Books? I've got a fable for you. And the moral is literally is confusing. It's literally confusing.
This is the story of the man who never read.
Tom, can I ask you a question? Can you read?
Look, how I feel is like if I had just an ounce of prep for this, I'd be fine.
Do you want to take a short break and go on aesop.com and see if you know if I had an ounce of prep for this, you'd be fine.
Just Googling animal party.
I also think there's one about. I think a fox will play. There's got to be a fox. A fox will play its part
because there's an element of like the gingerbread man is not an Aesop's fable, but there's a sort of the wily fox never trusts the fox. That's kind of the part of it because the gingerbread man ends with the gingerbread man leaping on the fox's back and he goes to go across the river and it's basically I don't know if the moral is like
get on my nose,
trust nobody. Yeah, he says get on my tail first. Then his tail starts getting wet and he's like get on my back and then he's like get on my nose.
No, he gets on his tail and then he goes no, get away from my tail.
Actually,
if I were you.
I've just turned 44 and they've started smelling again. Sorry.
I must be eating from a new bin or something.
There's a Morley's that's open near me and I'm always foraging late at night.
Get a better boat. So, yeah, he gets on his tail, gets on his back, gets on his head.
He throws him up into the air, snap, and eats him. And that was the end
Brutal.
of the gingerbread man.
Do you know what else is brutal? Fucking chicken licking.
I was just thinking of chicken licking with the sky falling in.
Yeah. Fuck me. Have you read that recently?
No.
Chicken licking. Something lands on chicken licking's head, I think. It is chicken licking, right?
Yeah.
Thinks the sky's falling. It's an acorn. Thinks the sky's falling in. Goes and tells their friend who's like a rabbit.
Penny,
the rabbit. Yeah. Goes and tells Henny Penny.
Yeah.
Goes and tells Goosey Lucy.
Yeah.
Goes and tells.
There's no rabbit, is there?
I don't know, bunny,
Flopsy.
funny bunny or whatever. Flopsy Dopsy. Anyway, there's about 8 of the cunts, and then they all get to a wolf, and he eats them, and that's the end of the story.
What?
Yeah.
I can't remember the end.
They literally just get eaten, and they go, "That's the end."
I wonder if I had like an abridged version as a child.
Like the
or my
story
mum
is,
just like would shut
they
the
get
book.
scared, and then they get eaten, and that's it.
And it's like, don't be scared.
Don't be scared.
Don't be scared or you'll
YOLO.
get eaten.
YOLO, basically, I think.
YOLO and don't go down the sort of conspiracy route. Is it sort of like that sort of thing? It's like, don't...
That's what the big state want you to believe. Okay. You're a chicken
The firmament is falling, guys.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Wake up, sheeple people.
Sheeple people's in it.
Yeah, that's right.
They do tell sheeple
That's how they go
people,
to old sheeple people. But maybe Aesop was the first, truth teller.
This first rapper.
I thought you were going to say he was the first rapper. Oh no, I thought maybe he was the first rapper. He was sort of like, Aesop was a bit like Kendrick Lamar, and that fox was very much like Drake. Actually, a duck should be like Drake, really. I don't know why I picked a fox.
Yeah, anyway, I think a fox will play its part when we get to Aesop for true.
And by... Sorry.
What? Yeah. Can we
have that sentence again? I know.
Can you have that sentence but in a different order, maybe?
I know literary is hard, but...
Literary is hard.
You know what? Your farts have started smelling, but your sentences are absolutely impenetrable.
Yeah,
It's one end's got to work. You can't have both ends working at the same
There's
time.
some kind of block chakra going on here.
yeah, I mean, the second bit that I was going to say right from the very start, that I don't think we've got time for now, is and nosebleeds are back.
Oh no!
So maybe that's not.
So you're doing really.
Maybe that's not good.
Yeah,
I
I think your farts are.
I was like, oh
Maybe
yeah,
you're gonna block me.
because nosebleeds. They felt quite like they're from back in the day.
And are you getting?
Never had one.
Are you getting nosebleeds? Oh, when you have a nosebleed, Clarky, that's the end of you. That absolutely will be.
Well, maybe that would be. I need one.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't like. You're very keen there, Parry.
Tom,
You've never had a nosebleed?
No.
And you've got no sense of smell?
Yeah.
There's got to be something in it.
yeah,
Something
you've
going on,
basically
isn't
got. Your nose is just serves no function whatsoever.
I feel it goes up one
you may as well
down the other.
You may as well be Voldemort.
It's porcelain. It's a purely decorative nose.
It's a gorgeous nose,
Thank you so
but it
much.
does absolutely
Purely
zilch.
aesthetic purposes.
It ties the face together, certainly. But your nose doesn't work in any way.
Yeah, did you suggest putting a hanky up and pulling it? That's weird. You've had nosebleeds, I presume.
I've had nosebleeds. Yeah, not since I was a little kid.
Exactly. Well, they're back.
For you?
Yeah.
Go to the doctor, please.
Please, for the love of God.
Literary hard.
Listen, my farts are smelling and my anus is gushing blood, I should say that. And my nose can smell again and it is gushing blood. And look at these weeping sores all over my flanks. Can we talk about
Check out these ears.
I'm actually sort of more blood and smell than a human being.
But I feel so alive.
But I know from chicken licking, I shouldn't be.
Don't be scared.
Don't be scared.
Don't
Are
be
you worried the
scared.
doctor's going to eat you? Is that what you're worried?
Don't be scared. Well, anyway. Yeah, that's about it, really.
Oh, well, thank you, Tom. Listen, we've got other patients to see. So thank you very much for coming in. If you wouldn't mind popping your clothes back on.
I must reiterate, I never told you to take those off.
I was only examining your nose, but it's good to get a full picture. Yeah. And these Polaroids you've taken, actually, you can keep those.
Just my advice, I guess, is get a better friend.
I told you about the time I got hives all over my body. Remember I told you about that?
Yeah.
And I had to send some photos to the doctor, and they said, "Could we have some photos where your bum isn't in it? Because we're not allowed to keep the ones with your bum in." And it was so humiliating.
Felt cute. Might delete later. Sorry, Doc. Felt cute.
You got Snapchat.
Might delete later.
It was the fact that I sent "what you saying" as the as the comment underneath. What you say? What's up, Doc? No,
take that out.
It was so humiliating having to crop it, but I still cropped it with just the tiniest little bit of cleavage.
Oh, you're a cheeky one. You're a cheeky one.
I did have I had hives all over my sort of torso and back and arse as well. So it was apropos. It wasn't like my arse was completely fine.
Like, what would they do?
You see these hives on my neck.
What if you only had hives on
back.
your ass? My neck. My back. My hives.
Has anyone got an antihistamine? What would you do if you've only got,
What would you do if you only have hives on your ass?
I think they'd say, come in and show us in person.
Oh, cheeky.
Well, that's the problem. But yeah, I think if you have them all over your ass, they would say, yeah. I don't know. If you said, I've got a real problem with my ass, can I send you a photo? No, I didn't say, can I send you The weirdest thing was, I was in the office at the time. I was actually in the doctor's surgery. I said, I'm a little bit shy. Would you mind if I went behind that screen and sent you a few photos?
Yeah, that's probably how they do it these days with the old younger generation.
Again, you're going to have to back up the truck slightly.
Work backwards and tell us it using animals, please.
Before we put the lid on the Aesop's fables,
Yes.
Please.
is Icarus an Aesop's fable?
No, that's got to be a Greek myth, hasn't it? Is it a Greek
Isn't
myth?
Aesop Greek?
Oh.
Well, for your consideration.
Are you hoping to be nominated for a BAFTA for that, Tom?
I'm just going to submit that. I'm going to just leave that there. I'm going to say I don't mind Icarus being in the mix.
We should, at least one of us read a book.
Yeah. I'm assuming, Caution, have you done any, have you looked up any of these things? Can I just by a thumbs up or thumbs down, have we said anything that's in any way right over the course of oh no, that's not good. That's not a good sign. That's not a good hand
She's
gesture.
just holding up a photo of your ass.
Yeah, sorry for sending you that. I thought it might be apropos. Anyway, yeah.
He's Greek as well.
Apropos fables. She wasn't saying few after looking at those photos.
Get a better friend.
Get a better camera.